Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Rabbi Orhaim explains the significance of this mitzvah of Sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim in his commentary to Parashat Bo, where Hashem tells Moshe, "Go to Paro, because I hardened his heart and hearts of his people, so I can put those signs in their midst, and so you can tell your children, you can tell your children and children of your children about what I did in Mitzrayim." Orhaim explains that all the miracles that Hashem made in Mitzrayim, all the plagues, they involve changes of the rules of nature, changes in the natural course of events. And just to punish Paro, it was not necessary to make all these spectacular miracles. He could have been punished any other way. But it really was made for the sake of Jewish people. So it can, so they come to know the power of Hashem. So Orhaim pays close attention to the wording in this pasuk. It says, I hardened the heart of Paro, so I can put these miracles. It says, Ele, otot ele in Paro. So Orhaim often does that. He takes a verse that seems like unnecessary because it could have said, I will show miracles, but it says those miracles. So he explains that that the conversation takes part before the plague of locusts. And before that, there were already several plagues, but they were done on the earth. But now Hashem wants to show that he's a master over the winds. Like it says in Hilim, Hashem oseh malachav ruchot. Hashem makes winds his messengers. And later he will show that he's a master over dark and light, over sun and moon when he sends darkness. And eventually he will show that he's a master of the souls, that he knows how to shape the child in the womb of the mother. And he knows who's a Bachor. And so all the plagues were designed especially to show that Hashem is master over all the levels of creation. And that becomes the basis of Jewish faith. Hashem wanted to show Jewish people that all the other beliefs are meaningless. And he says that, and eventually when finally Jewish people come to Mount Sinai to accept Torah, Hashem tells them, I am Hashem which brought you out of Egypt. Because of that time he showed his power. And this becomes the basis of Jewish faith, like it says in the same pasuk in Bo. So I'm doing all this so you can tell children and children of your children. And that becomes the basis of the Sipur that we tell, and it goes from generation to generation to make space for all generations, to make people make faith. Bnei Yisachar, he talks there are two categories of beliefs. There is a belief based on in category of Reya, seeing, not necessarily seeing by your eyes, but seeing in your mind. Like when we understand something, we say, I can see it. But that type of belief is limited, just like humans are limited. Our what we see is not something. It's not necessarily what we understand. And also seeing by your mind is also limited, because you can delude yourself, and you don't necessarily know what you don't have. You don't have complete understanding. But Jewish belief is in the category of Shmiya, hearing, and that based on that story that passed from generation to generation. And that type of faith is limitless, like Hashem doesn't have limit. And that faith based on the stories that being passed is not limited. And that's why the more we tell the story, the better it is. The more we make our faith stronger. And that story has a potential also to draw divine chesed and bring closer a final geula that we are all waiting for. In Tractate Brachot, there is a passage where rabbis discuss the final geula and compare it to geula from Mitzrayim. And they say that when final geula comes, it will be Ikar, and Yetziat Mitzrayim will be Tefel, which means the final geula will be essential, but geula from Mitzrayim becomes like secondary. So we can ask question why they talk about that like in this way, because after all, it's beginning of Jewish people, Geulat Mitzrayim. Because of that, we received Torah. And we experienced Shekhinah when we were on Mount Sinai. But it is known from the writings of Ari HaKadosh that Geulat from Mitzrayim was done in a hurry. We were not really on a high level. We actually were on a very low level. We were immersed in 49 levels of impurity. And Hashem had to hurry to bring people out of Mitzrayim so they cannot, they won't plunge even lower to the 50th level. And then it would be too late. So everything was done in a hurry. But Hashem showed us chesed on that night and raised us up. But then we had to wait 7 weeks, 49 days, in order to refine ourselves, to get rid of all the impurity. And then we were ready to face Shekhinah and to receive Torah. And in truth, that high level did not, we didn't keep it for too long, because 40 days later, there was a sin of golden calf. But in the final Geula, which will come very soon, maybe in Nisan, then Jewish people, it will be other way around. It won't be in a hurry, but on the contrary, it will be in a very composed and confident way. As it said in Isaiah, it says, "Kiloba hipazon teseu uve menusa lo telechon ki holech lifnechem Hashem uma asfechem Elokei Israel." It says that you won't go in a hurry and you won't be taken out forcefully, but you will go after Hashem. Hashem will go in front of you and you all will be gathered together. And this means that Geula will happen accordingly to the rising level of Jewish people, level of awareness, until we'll be able to face Shekhinah. And through this Geula will endure forever. We won't go down from that level. So the question is how we are going to merit this final Geula. And that will be forever. And the answer can be found in Parashat Tzav, in the pasuk that describes the sacrifice of Olah, the sacrifice that is burned completely. Or Chaim explained that this pasuk, he looks at this pasuk on a deeper level, on a level of remez. So this pasuk describes how the sacrifice is burned the whole night until the morning. And he says that it's a hint that the long night is this last galut that we are now in. It seems like very, very long and very dark, but the boker comes, the dawn comes. and how we will merit the dawn. The dawn, he says, because of two things that are mentioned in this pasuk, is Mogda al HaMizbeach. One is Mogda, that's fire, the place of fire, and fire is Torah. So the first condition is that we're Bnei Torah, we have Torah, because in Mitzrayim people didn't have Torah, but we do have. And it means learning Torah, it means living accordingly to the Torah, doing mitzvot. And the second condition is Mizbeach. In Mizbeach, he says, or Chaim says, it's hinted at sacrifices. And we know that because sacrifices refine your character and you become deserving to face Shekhinah. And we know that Jewish people made many sacrifices for being people of Hashem over all history. And especially now we can see that what our people is going through, how the best qualities shine through, how much like this generation that was considered very self-indulgent, how much heroism it shows. And the whole people of Israel, how much kindness there is, how much support, and how much beauty there is really. And it doesn't matter whether people are religious or not religious, because all the suffering is because we are God's people. And that's how other people see us. So even those who are not religious, they also bring sacrifice for the sake of Hashem. And that makes us worthy of redemption, of final Geula. And I want to just tell the short story from Yerushalmi Yoma 3b. The great Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Shimon ben Halafta were walking in the valley of Arbel, and that's a place we were on a trip on last year with Joy in the valley of Arbel before morning, and so Ayelet HaShachar. Ayelet HaShachar, it's like the first, it's like half an hour before the dawn. It's like just beginning light. They saw Ayelet HaShachar that started radiating. The great Rabbi Chia said to Rabbi Shimon ben Halafta, "Great man, so will be the deliverance of Israel. It starts out very small and it grows and radiates as it goes on." And I want to bless our hope that we be able to tell the story of Exodus from Egypt in such a way that it strengthens our faith, strengthens the whole people, and brings closer the Geula.
Amen. Ready for Geula. Okay, so all right. So last time we started. Okay, so last time we've been talking about sheker l'to'elis. So I guess lies for the good. But of course we define lying or truth differently than the standard definition of truth. It's not a restatement of facts. It's, Hashem, emes is Hashem's stamp in the world. Emes is how Hashem created the world. And emes is actually what brings peace and happiness into the world. It's not just, telling someone, you're ugly, because it's the truth. Not you, Hadassah, you're cute. Yeah, right. Right, Hadassah's got my raise here. So, okay, so all right, so here's an example. This is right out of Chazal, right? So at a wedding, if the kala is a very ugly girl, or she has some kind of physical imperfection, what are you supposed to do? Not only you're certainly not supposed to say anything negative about her. What? Well, there you go. But you're supposed to tell the chassan purposely, she is just the most wonderful girl in the world. Where'd you find her? She's terrific. She's gorgeous. What a neshama. You're supposed, and why? to endear her to him, to make him feel more secure, like he made the right decision. And then the Chazal tells us that is what we are supposed to do. Of course, this is not what you're supposed to do before a shidduch is made. There are all kinds of laws and regulations, and maybe we'll do that at some point. But after the wedding, the thing is done. Okay.
Done deal.
Done deal.
You got the best in the world.
You got it. You got the best. Okay, so I have a little story. Faggy, Shuli, what do you think of this outfit? I just picked up at the clearance sale. You wouldn't believe what a bargain it is. And Mindy seemed quite pleased with her purchase as she pulled the outfit out of the bag to show her friends. So Shuli starts, why in the world did you? And she's cut short because what's her name? Faggy gives her a little jab in the ribs. Mindy, you are some shopper. How do you always manage to find such special bargains? What a pretty color, such a unique pattern. Wear it well. Faggy wished her heartily before continuing on her way, pulling Shuli away with her. Faggy, how could you bring yourself to speak so nicely about such an ugly, outdated schmata? Shuli said when they were out of ear range, I'm surprised at you. You're always so careful to be honest and open. Shuli, those clearance sales have a no return policy. Whatever you buy, you keep. So what would be the point of telling her what's wrong with it? She won't be able to bring it back and she'll just kick herself for making a bad choice. Besides, I really didn't lie. I just focused on the nice aspects of the suit. That's all. I guess you have a point there. I hope I just never thought of it that way. Okay, so if a person has no option of returning, if there's no, like she said, what's the point of saying that something is ugly? What would be the point of making that point? All she's going to do is feel bad. So if you don't have to lie directly, so maybe you don't love the dress, so you don't say, "Oh, I love it, it's gorgeous," but you can say, "That's a nice color. That's true. That's a fact. That's a nice pattern. That's a fact." If you can say a complimentary thing about the thing, and any purchase that a person makes, anything that a person buys, so what's the point of saying any kind of negative comment out of you? Try and bring that person some happiness for what they did. Okay, so let's say somebody's got an ugly baby. Okay, there you go. So you say, what'd you say? Okay. Okay, so what you say is, what a beautiful baby. Because in the eyes of every single parent, except for Judy, their babies are beautiful. Everybody looks at their baby.
Don't say that.
What?
You're not allowed to say what a beautiful baby.
Okay.
So what a ugly baby. You're not supposed to say what an ugly baby.
Because when you say what a beautiful baby, you bring happiness to the parents. You make the parents feel good. First of all, the kid's gonna outgrow it or whatever it is, or the kid's not really ugly, or it's like it's.
There's so many other things you can say that are true. Why do you have to pick on something that's not? If you say, "Oh, I must have so much power."
Okay, that's exactly right. Exactly. That is one of the positions that you should make an attempt to not directly lie. Okay, listen, it's not an incorrect fact to say the baby's beautiful because the parents think the baby's beautiful. But if you, yeah. Exactly. If you can say something nice in a way that's not an overt lie, but I mean, babies are pretty big. It's pretty subjective, right? But anyways, the point is that when you speak, right, you want to say something nice. That.
Something nice to say.
You know who said that originally? Bambi's mother. Your mother and Bambi's mother, if you remember. Okay.
That's like with the dress for the baby, you could say his skin is so soft and smooth. Look for the positive.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, what a cute outfit you have on him. Isn't that nice?
Have football and so on.
That's right.
Calling a baby precious, because no matter what the baby looks like,
That's
baby
true.
is precious.
That is true. Okay. All right. So, another situation where you might be allowed to lie is where you would do it in order to save a person from shame. So like someone did something wrong, you could actually say, no, I did it. Before that person's going to get yelled at or blamed or whatever it is. No, I did it. Or we kind of did this together. It's not, don't blame it on her. It's like, it's also my, because again, you use your words for positive things. You use your words in this case to minimize a person's embarrassment. If somebody is somebody's poverty stricken, and it would be really embarrassing for them to take tzedakah, like you can't give them money so you say to them, you could even do this. You write them, you have a letter that's from the Support Torah Scholars Board, and you send them, you make up this organization that doesn't exist, and you send them money. You've been awarded on the basis of your scholarship and wonderful Harbatzas Torah. You now have this monetary award. Don't some people wish that would happen to them? But again, the point is, it's not honest. It came out of your pocket. It didn't come from this organization. The organization doesn't exist. Again, the point is to not embarrass the person, not shame them, accomplish your goal of getting this person money without having to force it on them or embarrass them. Even if you after you've had this conversation with them and suddenly the money appears in their mailbox, it's still going to be embarrassing for them, right? Like
It's very simple. Without lying, you're making me a favor. That's all it is. You don't need to make a story. You're making me a favor. Thank you very much.
I wouldn't believe that one, but
Very simple.
okay. The Seder. So that's our idea. That's our basic idea. Whatever comes out of your mouth should be for the purpose of bringing happiness to people. Okay, so all right, I just want to say the breakfast this morning is sponsored by Rivka. She said in honor of her mother's yard site, and also that beautiful new cabinet that, thank you, Ariella, is just about finished putting together, is sponsored by Chaya, also in memory of her mother's yard site, Tamara Bat Chaim Raphael. And also the breakfast is sponsored by Tatiana, who's had a little birthday. Can I say the number?
I'm going to, if you will give me.
Bakasha.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I prepared my little shtick. I worked so hard, but Rivka said it all. Then I prepared another one, but Judy said it all. You already had all the fun that I was gonna do. But anyway, I'm gonna do it anyway. I have no choice. This is what it is. 30 years ago, on the garage sale in America, I bought a piece of clothing, which I'm going to put on. And I paid $1 for it. And this is what it says. 1945.
Wow. The war ended and I was born.
30 years ago. I didn't know that the time will come when I will have an opportunity to see that.
So I told him backwards.
I will have an opportunity to wear it. I also, the month of Adar, I always wear fishes. And they said when the month of Adar comes, the happiness increase. Did they tell you that after Purim the happiness decrease? No, we're so involved. It's a Pesach. Let us clean. Oh my gosh. And everybody forgets about it. The happiness doesn't stop now.
Right.
We have to take it to the fullest. Right. And also I'm thinking, we all are thinking so much about cleaning house. How about cleaning ourselves? How about turning to yourself and see if I'm coming to the Pesach clean? If I'm doing more than I did, if I'm cleaning here at some point too, selfishly I'm saying. What I'm gonna say at the end is, I want to give everybody a blessing, everybody, including myself. So one day we will all buy t-shirts with the saying, it was a year such and such, and Hashem saved us, and Geula happened, and we all were born again. T-shirts are in the making. Year 5,875. 85.
Okay, just stay there. All right, so I have here, did you see Toga waving at you?
Oh, no. Hey, hi. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Okay. All right, just I'm gonna make a few little announcements, okay? Shut off the, oh, I don't know. How do I do this? Okay.